I'm Chris. This is Single Dad Homestead brought to you from the front porch of the Appalachian Mountains in northeast Tennessee. Hey guys, we're here. We're going to do this other video today. I told you we were going to get into doing more. We've been taking a little time off, sitting on the front porch swing here. It's a little bit of a mess still from the winter, but it's cool. Actually cold, but my paper there. What we're going to talk about today is what seeds we ordered, and we'll get into a little bit of financial stuff so you guys know what I'm doing and why my journey's going right now. So let me go through what I've ordered. I ordered quite a bit from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, Rare Seed Company. If you guys have not checked them out, check them out at www.rareseeds.com. Check them out. They've been a great supporter of the channel. So let me turn these glasses down so I can see. I've got my paper here, quite a few things. So we went with some dragon tongue beans. We enjoyed those last year. We enjoyed eating those just off by themselves. Our staple, the Old Homestead green beans, great canning bean if you guys haven't used those before. Wonderful eating bean during the summer as well as to put up in your cans. We fell in love with the Chinese red noodle beans. My mother pickled a bunch of them last year, so we are going to hit those up big time because we ended up with like 4 jars of pickled red noodle, the Chinese red noodle beans, and we wish we had about 400 of those. So amazing, amazing noodle bean, the Chinese red noodle bean. Then we went with some of the Shanghai green bok choy, and then we went with some of the Shanghai green greens. They're a big, big green. And then we did some, I can't say this word, the Grenor, the Gronniner, sprouts. That's the Brussels sprouts. Gonna grow some of those, or attempt to grow some of those today. And then we did some of the Premier Flat Dutch. And then we did some of the Manpuchi. I think it's a cabbage. It's a very large cabbage. And I'm reading these off of just what I wrote, not the pictures in front of me from the magazine. We did some of the Orchard Baby sweet corn. We don't have a lot of luck with corn up here, so I thought maybe if we did a hybrid of the small corn that maybe it would turn out, fairly good. I think the soil does well for that here. Let's see. Some of the Boston picklers, of course, the munchers, muncher, cucumbers, and the Boston picklers. We got a pack of the Aunt Molly's ground cherries. We did some of the small Parisian cantaloupes for my father, and we did some of the Tommy apple melons, which are another type of melon or cantaloupe. My father and ELYN love those. We did some of the giant Chinese leaf mustard greens. Those produce until this time of year. I mean, you got snow on the ground and they're still got mustard greens coming out. So if you guys like mustard greens, that's a good choice. We did some of the heavy hitter okra. We got a bunch of seeds already, guys, that we had in stack. But those heavy hitters did really good and were prolific. I mean, literally pick them in the morning, pick them in the evening, pick them at night before you go to bed type of growth. We did some yellow sweet Spanish onions. They did real good for us last year. Got to about a little bit less than your fist, but were a really good one. We did some of Greg's garden jalapenos, the grand jalapenos, the fat ones. We did some bullnose peppers. We did some Eastern basket mix, which is the radishes. We did some early golden summer crookneck squash, butternut squash, some of the brandywine, tomatoes, German pinks, which is my favorite tomato, those and the Cherokee purples. We did some Amish paste, and then we did the Rocky Mountain lettuce mix is where we ended up. But that is what we have on our seed order. Now we will obviously be planting some more seeds other than just that, and we'll let you know that as the garden goes in and the seed starts go in. With the new greenhouse and stuff, will be a lot of fun to see how those get started and go in that new greenhouse this year. So that's where we're at on seeds. So let's talk a little bit about the big elephant in the room, that all of us have. I don't care at what step you are at or where you're at. I've got a cat meowing at me from the neighbor and a chicken over here on the porch. They won't fight. They're actually pretty good friends. So we we had to take the last 4 months or so off. I just got sick and tired. If any of you guys know Dave Ramsey, uh, and have followed any of his stuff, um, you know you've got to reach that point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. So we started doing some reading. We started doing some soul searching. We had a lot of good conversations with the Lord. And if you don't know about Dave, his whole system is based off of a biblical stance on finances and the hate of debt. We don't need to have debt in our life. So I'm not that far in debt. I don't have a lot of debt per se on the books. I owe for the land that the house is built on. The house is paid for completely. Had two small loans, paid off the first one of those the other day. That felt amazing. But if you haven't checked out Dave's stuff, go over and check it out. He's got a great YouTube channel. It's Dave Ramsey. The program's called Peace University, but check it out. So our goals for what we're doing, so you guys can lay out on this and follow along. If you want to do it yourself, contact me. I'll be a supporter and a helper of you through the email and things of that nature. But our goal is to be debt free minus the land in May, and then 25 months from that date is what we're going to try to have the land paid off for. We owe about $50,000 on the land, and we have about $8,000 in other debt. Well, not anymore. We actually paid off the credit card, the one small credit card we got, cut it up, threw it away, don't need it, have cash. We'll pay cash for everything that we do in the future. And my bigger part of it was to leave a legacy for ELYN. This home is hers. It's always going to be there. But with mom being sick, with dad being sick, with losing my sister, quite a while ago, 4 or 5 years ago now, with doing all that, my sister having young kids when she passed, it was time. I was tired of not knowing what I was going to be able to leave ELYN. And more than that, what I was going to be able to teach ELYN about finances right now. ELYN started her own. She's doing the journey with me. She sits down and does our budget. She helps out. She helps kind of put money to certain places and things. And she's having fun with it as well. There's some hard parts if you do Dave's plan. He wants you to have a small nest egg at the beginning. He wants you to take everything else that you have in savings and everything and get rid of your debt. So you sell everything you got. If you've got car payments, sell the cars, get rid of them, buy a cheap car, which I've already been a proponent of that in the past. And it all lines up with homesteading. And that's the reason I'm bringing it to you guys. It lines up perfectly with our core values in this community. Not having those payments and being able to live off the land and whatever income you have, getting rid of that other stuff, and it's just liberating. He does these things called the debt-free scream, where when people pay off their stuff, they travel up to Nashville where his headquarters is, and they go through there. So I'm going to make it through my journey, and then I may see about getting certified to teach some of these classes and bring it to you guys on here. Excuse me, and see what we can do that way to help out different people. But the end goal for me, not his end goal, my end goal is to leave a legacy to my daughter, to be able to not ever have to worry about anything, going and buying bread or feeding the animals, or if a good deal comes up, having the cash to go pay cash for a vehicle or an animal or a tractor or anything of that nature. And to have to have finances in the bank, to have money in the bank. Um, that, and then the number one thing for me, even above leaving all that for ELYN, is to be generous, to be able to give, to be able to take care of family, friends, and strangers, to be able to do that, because welfare and generosity and giving should not be up to our government. It should be up to us as human beings. Should be up to us as men and women of God. Um, that's where welfare we're and welfare is not a bad word when you use it in that sense. It's being the welfare of your brothers and sisters, and our little guys here that are decided he's going to come check us out. One of the things you guys don't know that happened over the last 4 months, off little tangent here, was a coyote killed all of my hens. He is the only bird that I have left. So we have three hens that we just got. We have to pick up. We got snowed out. They've been at a friend's house for 4 weeks now. So, but the financial part of it, I think, is something that we're missing in the homesteading community. I want us to be able to all jump on board. Let's all get there. Let's all have that freedom and that ability to take care of our children, take care of ourselves, and to get debt free and to own those homesteads that we all want to do. So after my rambling there, I'm going to end this and say, as always, God bless. Live with what God gives you, and we're out of here.